Today, we will talk about the 500 shareholder threshold and its impact on investor disclosure and market transparency. The 500 shareholder threshold for investors is a rule required by the Securities and Exchange Commission that triggered public reporting requirements of a company when it reached that many or more distinct shareholders. Section 12(g) of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 calls for issuers of securities to register with the SEC and begin public dissemination of financial information within 120 days of the end of a fiscal year. The 500 shareholder threshold was introduced in 1964 to address complaints of fraudulent activity appearing in the over-the-counter market. It required companies with more than 499 investors to provide adequate disclosure for the protection of investors and for oversight by regulators. If the number of investors fell back below 500, then the disclosures would no longer be required. Private companies generally avoid public reporting by keeping the number of individual shareholders low, as mandatory reporting can consume a great deal of time and money and also places confidential financial data in the hands of competitors. With the ascendancy of startup firms in the technology sector, the 500 shareholder threshold rule became an issue for growing companies like Google and Amazon. The threshold was increased to 2,000 shareholders in 2012 with the passage of the Jumpstart Our Business Startups Act, allowing private companies to have up to 1,999 holders of record without the registration requirement of the Exchange Act. The new threshold gives emerging supergrowth companies more privacy and breathing room before deciding to file for an initial public offering, IPO. Here are 3 key takeaways. 1. The 500 shareholder threshold required companies to publicly disclose financial statements if they reached 500 or more distinct shareholders. 2. The rule, in place from 1964 to 2012, was meant to discourage fraud and misinformation in the over-the-counter market. 3. Today, the shareholder threshold is 2,000, largely in response to the rapid growth of investment in tech startups. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.